On the outskirts of a forgotten village, perched atop the misty Raven Hill, stood an abandoned house rumored to be cursed. The villagers spoke in whispers about its dark past, disappearances, strange lights, and a history of unexplainable horrors. One stormy evening, a young historian named Evelyn arrived in the village. Drawn by tales of the house, she intended to document its story, dismissing the warnings as folklore. Armed with a flashlight, her notebook, and a camera, she began her ascent to the house. Inside, the air was damp and filled with the faint smell of decay. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, revealing claw-like scratches beneath. Evelyn noticed an old mirror hanging crookedly in the hallway, reflecting the dim flicker of her flashlight. But when she turned to inspect it, a shadowy figure darted across the reflection behind her. Startled, Evelyn spun around. The hallway was empty. She whispered to herself, "It's just the storm, nothing more." But the creaks in the floorboards above told a different story. She climbed the stairs, each step echoing into the oppressive silence. Reaching the second floor, Evelyn found a child's room. The bed was neatly made, but the air was cold enough to see her breath. A box of toys sat in the corner, untouched by time. She reached for an old wooden jack-in-the-box. As she turned the handle, a haunting lullaby played. It stopped abruptly, and the jack burst out, not as a clown, but as a grotesque figure with hollow eyes and sharp teeth. The room's door slammed shut behind her. Evelyn screamed, dropping the toy, and scrambled for the door. When she finally opened it, the hallway was no longer the same. The house was shifting, alive. Evelyn tried to retrace her steps but found herself in an unfamiliar room filled with antique furniture covered in white sheets. A gramophone in the corner began to play on its own. The tune was eerily cheerful, clashing with the dread that gripped her. From the corner of her eye, Evelyn saw movement. A figure wrapped in shadow stood at the edge of the room, its head tilted unnaturally. It raised an arm, pointing toward her. The gramophone's music distorted into a maddening cacophony as the figure advanced. Evelyn bolted out of the room, her heart pounding. She found herself in the basement. The walls were damp and etched with strange symbols glowing faintly in the dark. In the center of the room was a well, its cover broken and leaning. A low, guttural noise echoed from within. Against her better judgment, Evelyn stepped closer. She peered into the abyss. Two pale hands shot out, grabbing the edge. A head followed, eyeless and grinning, its mouth unnaturally wide. Evelyn stumbled back as the thing began to crawl out. She fled up the stairs, but the house wouldn't let her leave. Doors slammed, walls shifted, and a chorus of whispers grew louder, chanting her name. Exhausted and terrified, Evelyn found herself back in the hallway with the mirror. Her reflection wasn't her own. It was smiling, dark, hollow eyes staring back. The reflection mouthed words she couldn't hear. Then, it stepped out of the mirror. The shadow grabbed Evelyn, pulling her into the mirror. Her screams echoed as she vanished, leaving the house in silence once more. Days later, villagers noticed lights in the windows of the house. A new reflection adorned the mirror in the hallway. Evelyn, now one of the shadowed entities bound to the curse of Raven Hill. Evelyn awoke to darkness. She was lying on cold, damp floorboards, and the air around her was thick and oppressive. She vaguely remembered the mirror and the thing that had pulled her in. Now she was somewhere else, inside the house, but different. The walls seemed alive, pulsating faintly, and the ceiling stretched infinitely into blackness. A faint sound of scratching drew her attention. She turned her flashlight toward the noise but found only an empty hallway. The scratching grew louder, coming from inside the walls. Then, a voice, a child's whisper. "Help us." Summoning her courage, Evelyn followed the sound, her footsteps echoing unnaturally. The hallway ended abruptly in a door. Carved into the wood was a crude symbol, a triangle within a circle, surrounded by jagged lines. Her trembling hand reached for the doorknob. It was icy cold. Inside, the room was small, almost claustrophobic, with shelves lined with dusty jars filled with unidentifiable objects. In the center of the room stood an ancient writing desk. Upon it lay a journal, its cover cracked and worn. Evelyn flipped it open. The handwriting was frantic, the words barely legible. "They come from the mirror. They steal your shadow first, then they take the rest." A sudden knock echoed from the door she had just entered. Slowly, the doorknob began to turn. She grabbed the journal and ran. The house shifted around her again. Stairs appeared where none had been before. Desperate to escape, she climbed them, the journal clutched tightly in her hand. She found herself in an attic lit by a dim, unnatural glow. The room was filled with cobwebs and dust-covered furniture. In the corner, an antique crib rocked slowly back and forth, though no one was near it. Evelyn approached, her flashlight shaking. Inside the crib was a small porcelain doll, its face cracked and its eyes following her. The doll whispered, "They're here." The attic door slammed shut, and the walls began to close in. She turned to the window, trying to break it open, but the glass reflected not the outside world, but the same room, only darker. In the reflection, dozens of shadowy figures surrounded her, watching. The reflection in the window spoke in unison. "Stay." Evelyn screamed and threw the flashlight at the window. The glass shattered, and the world outside returned, but it wasn't her world. She looked out onto an endless void, where fragments of the house floated like islands in a black sea. A low growl rumbled behind her. She turned to see one of the shadowy figures stepping closer. Its shape was human but wrong. Its limbs stretched unnaturally, and its face was featureless. It extended a hand toward her, beckoning silently. Evelyn backed away, clutching the journal. She flipped through its pages frantically, looking for answers. One passage caught her eye. "To break free, you must leave behind what they seek, your shadow. Without it, you can escape their grasp." The figure lunged at her, but she dodged, spilling a lantern onto the floor. Flames began to spread, consuming the dry wood of the attic. Evelyn pressed her back to the window, holding the journal tightly. She felt the house begin to quake. The fire roared louder, consuming the shadowy figure. But as the flames grew, so did the dark shapes in the room. They emerged from the walls, the floor, even the ceiling, converging on her. Evelyn made her choice. She stepped onto the windowsill, the void beckoning her. With one final glance at the burning attic, she let herself fall into the nothingness. She awoke back in the village, lying in a field near Raven Hill. The house was gone, replaced by scorched earth and ash. The journal lay open beside her, its pages now blank. She touched her face, her arms. Everything seemed normal. But as she stood, she noticed her shadow no longer followed her. In the days that followed, Evelyn tried to return to her normal life. But every reflection she passed now showed something lurking just behind her, watching. The house might have let her go, but it hadn't truly let her leave. Every ocean holds its secrets, but few rival the horrors hidden within the Bermuda Triangle. This 500,000 square mile region between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico has claimed thousands of lives. Planes vanish without a trace. Ships disappear as if swallowed by the sea itself. But what lies beneath the surface? A natural phenomenon, or something far darker? The Bermuda Triangle, a region shrouded in mystery and fear. An area stretching from Miami to Bermuda to Puerto Rico. This infamous zone has swallowed planes, ships, and countless lives without a trace. Tonight, we uncover the chilling history and eerie phenomena of this cursed expanse of ocean. But beware. Some mysteries are better left untouched. In 1918, the USS Cyclops departed from Barbados en route to Baltimore. A steel giant, nearly 550 feet long, carrying over 300 men and a cargo of manganese ore. The ship never arrived. No SOS call, no wreckage, no survivors. Just silence. Some whispered of sabotage, others mutiny. But sailors knew the truth. Something unnatural was waiting for them in those waters. To this day, the Cyclops remains one of the Triangle's most enduring mysteries. On December 5, 1945, 5 TBM Avenger bombers, known as Flight 19, took off from a naval base in Florida. It was a routine training mission, but the pilots soon reported strange compass readings. The sky darkened. The sea turned a deep, unnatural green. Their final transmission? "We're entering white water. Everything looks wrong." Search planes dispatched to rescue them also vanished without a trace. The Triangle claimed 27 lives that day, leaving only questions behind. Science offers one explanation. The Bermuda Triangle disrupts the Earth's magnetic field. Compasses spin wildly, making navigation impossible. But why here? Some blame vast deposits of magnetite beneath the seabed. Others suggest something less natural. Could the Triangle be a gateway? A place where our reality bends under the weight of another? Time and again, witnesses report strange lights in the skies above the Triangle, blinking, darting, moving at impossible speeds. Radar operators record unexplainable blips before their screens go dark. Some claim extraterrestrial visitors use this region to abduct planes and ships. Others believe the Triangle itself is alive, a predator hunting its prey in the shadows of the cosmos. Those who survive encounters with the Triangle speak of unexplainable phenomena, blinding fogs that appear out of nowhere, time itself seeming to stretch or compress, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. One pilot described flying into a tunnel of light, only to emerge hundreds of miles from his original course, hours later. Their stories are chilling reminders that escape is not always guaranteed. The Bermuda Triangle has claimed over 1,000 lives in the past century. Its boundaries are marked by fear, its depths filled with unanswered questions. What secrets lie beneath the waves? A natural phenomenon, or something far more sinister? The truth may never surface. Perhaps the Bermuda Triangle is a cruel trick of nature, a place where science falters and imagination reigns. Or perhaps it is a warning, a glimpse into forces we were never meant to understand. Whatever the truth, the Triangle remains a graveyard of secrets, and it's still waiting for its next victim. Among the Triangle's most spine-chilling stories are the ghost ships, vessels found adrift, their crew vanished without a trace. In 1921, the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted schooner, was discovered wrecked on the shores of North Carolina. The ship was intact, food still on the table, but her entire crew was gone. Investigators found no signs of struggle, only eerie silence. Was it piracy, or had the Triangle itself claimed them? In 1970, pilot Bruce Jernan experienced something he could never explain. While flying over the Triangle, he encountered an electric fog, a strange, tunnel-like cloud. Instruments malfunctioned, and time seemed to stretch and twist. When he emerged, Jernan discovered he had traveled over 100 miles in a matter of minutes. Was he the victim of a time warp, or something far beyond human comprehension? Some believe the Triangle's mysteries are connected to the lost city of Atlantis. Ancient texts describe a powerful civilization destroyed in a cataclysm, sinking into the ocean. Could remnants of their advanced technology be disrupting our modern instruments? Or perhaps the Triangle is a graveyard, protecting secrets we're not meant to uncover. In 1968, the USS Scorpion, a nuclear submarine, vanished while returning to Norfolk, Virginia. Despite advanced search efforts, the wreck wasn't located for months. Its hull was shattered, as if crushed by an unimaginable force. While officials blamed a mechanical failure, whispers of something more sinister echo through history. Could the Triangle's curse extend even to the depths? Some seafarers claim to have seen something in the Triangle, shadows beneath the waves, moving against the currents. These so-called guardians of the abyss are described as massive, ancient creatures, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Are they protectors of an ancient secret, or predators lying in wait? The ocean's true masters may be more terrifying than we can imagine. Even today, the Triangle continues to exert its sinister influence. In 2021, a private yacht carrying a family of 4 vanished after reporting strange lights in the sky. Their final message was garbled, filled with static. It's coming. We can't. Before cutting off completely. No trace of the yacht or its passengers has ever been found. What if the Bermuda Triangle is more than just a place? What if it's a living entity, a sentient force that feeds on fear, curiosity, and life itself? Perhaps we are not the explorers, but the prey, and the triangle is always watching.